Hey, what is up guys, it is your boy Twa here, and this will be a video on Eclipse. This will be a short guide on how to perform and also what I managed to do with my very first team. It's absolutely insane. So once you get it started, what do you need and how do you make your very first teams to do so? One is something that you will be looking for, which is a character that will be stacking onto multiple applications. One would be Eclipse that stacks on kills, Urzi that also stacks on kills, and I would say Kane, who also stacks on kills and who is basically made, as you can see, for Eclipse. Because look at his damage, he's simply a 1-star. Don't get me wrong, he has full Manticore set, a good artifact. But the rest of my team is also either 0 or 1-star, or Hardener doesn't even have a unique weapon yet. So the second thing that you'll be looking for is shields. Now shields are unaffected by the healing reduction that's coming out every single time that you will amp up another wave, meaning that Frey will be strong as ever. So if you are a new player and you still don't know what to invest your T7 selectors in, get a full attack set, get your Frey up in the building, and make sure to get a UT2, because my Frey doesn't even have that. And your shields will be insane. Now, another thing that you need to be using is the Ring of Spirit Morph. This allows for your tank to survive for an X amount of seconds. Mine is currently on a 3-star, which means 7 seconds, until the point that runs out. He will never die. So that is one amazing feature that you can use. And if you can see, just like this, it's just pow pow and you're dead. Just a quick reminder, wave 15 is physical damage. If you do, however, get stuck at a certain boss, you need to look at what kind of damage he's doing and build according, because you can make overall general tanky gear, but you can get very specific one for specific sets. Wave 20 is magical damage, and there's a gimmick to a few of these bosses, because both wave 20 and wave 25 are susceptible to one thing, and that is characters that can move to the back of them. That means all of their frontal damage will not work. It will not hit whatsoever. It is super insane. So you can get yourself, once again, an Eclipse that can do that. You can get yourself Cecilia, which I usually use for wave 20. And you could use Visca if you do have a lot of damage on her, but yeah, she's not the bursty kind. So there is multiple applications to use this. And guess what? Wave 20 onto a single team, on a budget team, I would say, if you do kind of get the artifacts out of the way. But even now, my Loman is still not dying. He has a multiple shields application, and here we go, more shields. He's still not dead yet. And this is a bug onto Kane, that whenever he's not able to hit a target, he will revert back to his god form, which is absolutely insane. I was so surprised. This was the very first try onto the newer patch to do this stuff. Trying to lock them down, not in time with the shield, so that is where I die. Now I got several teams set up for another reason. These are teams that have, I would say, not enough gear, but some gear to survive or do at least some damage. But they don't really have a function, so let's skip this part. And what I usually use them for is to get either from wave 16 to 20 and then get myself a very good boss application onto another team. And normally the team would be this team, which is Theo, Sonya, Neuroxus, and Refi. Now Refi's healing is pretty good. Survivability of Theo right now is a little bit too low, so that's something that I still need to work on. But overall, he's doing pretty good. And I think that if I gear him just a little bit more, I can actually do this one as well. Another thing I want to talk about is the very last team that you pick. Now, obviously, if you have a shield, it is absolutely gorgeous to use. So there is one character that comes to mind, and that would be Artemia. Now, she has a shield, big as AoE damage, and single target damage as well. So using her at one of your last teams is very good. But like I said, only if you have them geared. So you basically pick your highest up character that will do the most damage possible. Now this is one of those bosses that if you got the right setup, you can do this, but what you will need is a dispel. If you don't have the dispel, chances are you will die very, very fast. But if you do, however, have the right setup or a lot of healing, which Refi provides right now, you should be doing good. Gets his stun. He is very comparable, or he is actually the challenge rate or the guild rate 1. This is the big damage hit, still doesn't kill anything. Now if Riffy had very good gear, because he's on PvP gear right now, if he had really good gear, we could do this without any problems. So there are multiple ways for me to get this whole thing onto Eclipse, but so far I'm doing pretty good. It is a dead character, and here I am just looking at my screen thinking like, well, this could take me a little bit. Let's just not heal and not waste my time. Riffy gets barfed. A dead character. Alright, which one is up next? We got Cecilia up in the building. Now, Cecilia is one of my characters that does the most damage, but she is usually used to get wave 20 down. She is used to get to the back with the S1, then pop the cherry with everything else, and now she's just doing damage. Like, my Mora has stupid gear for this. Like, something that I would not even consider using. So guess what? Can we kill this? Oh, this is also one of those Kamehameha guys. Oh, what happens if I get to the back? Oh, this is some cheesemo. And look at the fastness that I killed this guy. Super insane. Now we got Dullahan, and this guy is, for what I know, is physical damage. And he has a one move that you can gimmick. And what I mean by gimmick is he will jump to a certain extent, and that is where he most likely will one-shot most of your team. That means in the team that I'm using right now, I will most likely die, especially because my Jane is not really geared that well. So she gets slapped to Kingdom Come. And guess what? We still got Bernie in the building. Oh, that damage is insane. Guess what? That jump didn't actually do that much. Surprise. And now we're back to the last team. Probably one of my best teams. And the gimmick that I will show you is the S1 of Mediana. So the moment he jumps, I will try the S1 and see if that works. Now Chase is used for damage. Currently got myself a skeleton mask on, but I don't think it actually does more damage to it. He looks to be an undead character, but I don't think he is. There we go. Did not get hit. And then I get one shot to the back. I was so happy for no reason. Let's see how far we can get. And I can tell you, it's not much further than this. So once again, to get the summary, what you need is a stacking character. So Urzi, Epis, Kane. And I would dig, like, everybody has Kane, and he needs the lowest investment out of all of them. You've seen it onto this footage. Great, insane addition. Then what you need is shields. So Frey, Loman, Hardener, or anything that you can provide a shield with. Insane characters. Now, the last item what you need is the Ring of Spirit Morph. That will allow you for survivability onto your stacking team, and that will get you at least to wave 15, and if you get the right gear, you can get it up to wave 20 like I just did. Alright, last thing I want to mention is the gear that I'm using. Now, don't get me wrong, my gear is pretty good, but also very trashed here. My Kane is definitely high-end because of his Manticore set, which does an insane amount of damage to bosses, but look at this for a change. I got too much crit rate, not enough attack speed, but I know a way to cope with this. So we got the Transcendence. We're using this for Transcend. If you need to know anything about Kane builds, go to my previous videos. There's a full Kane explanation on it, on how to actually build the guy properly. Now let's look at one of the most useful things, which is Frey. And what I'm basically using is the Pendulum of Fantasy, meaning that she will be amping up onto her own attack with 50%. Now, I did not get a 1-star or even higher up, but that would definitely be great. And for the gear that I was using, I did not even have 200k attack. On my old gear, I actually managed to tweak it a little bit and get even more outside of it. Now, the attack speed that I'm missing on Kane gets kind of reduced to this, which is great. And I got another one that I want to mention, and that is a Hardener. Now this lady has Goddess of Glory, meaning more attack speed, more usefulness, and overall no unique weapon, not even necessary. Unique treasure 4 on the other hand is really good for one reason. Now you get 6 stacks and 3% boss damage, which means 6 stacks times 3, you know the deal, right? A lot of bossing damage. And then if we look at all of the other gear, it's not even maxed out. So what we got is trash, not even maxed out, trash. So you don't even need anything. So as for the build, what you need to use is this one, cooldown reduction, really good if you want to pop more shields, obviously. And this one, crit damage onto allies, 12%, 12 times 6, I think it's 72. And guess what? More damage, more defense on more skills that you use. So she is basically made for this stage. And guess what? Some more mana recovery, some P defense increase. So all in all, amazing addition. Last but not least, we got Loman up in the building. And what he's basically using is PvP gear, and this also not optimized, but what I'm liking here is the attack speed, because the attack speed will allow you to get more mana, get more stun rates in, which is really good. And in all cases I use unique treasure 3, because that lowers the cooldown by another I think 5 seconds or so. So that makes it so that this skill is somewhat spammable. And like I said earlier, Ring of Spirit Morph is the most useful artifact in this case. So that is it for the gear. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was Twebby. Peace.